Hello everyone. So I actually pulled some cards already. I started the live, but then Sage kept interrupting it in a way like getting on the counters and stuff. So I'm just gonna come back and I'm going to do the reading that I did. It's a mind, body, and soul reading. So the first card that we got was for the mind, which is bitch pipe down, eat this mental, and in parentheses self-reflection. So this is letting me know that we may be in our head a lot about a situation or our life or what's currently going on, and that can be causing maybe some anxiety, some stress, some depression, some disappointment, some shame, some difficulties in actually choosing a selection, some worry, any of those things, right? So it's a matter of right now, your mind is too loud. It's too much coming in. It's too much going through. It's too much emotions. It's too much feeling. It's too much of trying to take it all in and not even realizing like, hey, I don't have this understanding. I just need a moment to self-reflect. So if you are right now in your mind too much, its spirit is saying you need to pipe down. You need to either journal more, you need to meditate, you need to go outside more, because right now you are speaking too much, but it's coming out of a feeling of emotion and not out of actually understanding that there needs to be a balance within your sense of self. Your mind is clouded and crowded too much at this point in time, so just a matter of just pipe down for a little bit. It's time for some self-reflection. It's time to take a step back and realize, and what I'm doing, is it the right way? Am I thinking in the right way? Am I thinking positive about my life and my current situation and what's happening and what's going on? Hey, chill. Thank you. Okay, which leads to the body. Time to moisturize. You're a little dry. And what that means is, are you actually hydrating yourself? And it could actually be physically, are you drinking water, but are you hydrating yourself with self-care? Do you feel like you are actually attached to your body? Like you actually are in tune with it? Are you listening? Do you feel like you actually are taking rest when you need to? Do you feel like you are taking action when you need to? Do you actually understand what you want to do with your life? And that comes with having a clear mind. Sage, thank you. And that comes with having a clear mind and a clear understanding of what you want to do. But you cannot do that if everything is so loud up here. Because what we think is what we speak, and what we speak is what we become. And what we're becoming right now is that we're drying up our reservoir. We're not able to give to ourselves. We're not able to give patience. We're not able to give grace. We're not able to give love. And we're not able to actually give a true self-awareness reflection. And that's what is needed at this time in order to take these next steps that are needed in moving forward in our life. So we have to take this realization and understanding like, hey, if I need to pipe down and I need to self-reflect, I need to settle my mind, right? And that leaves the next one, which is your spirit. My tongue speaks the truth. My ears will listen and my body will follow, right? So if your mind is thinking something and you start speaking it, my life is horrible, this is what's happening, this is what's going on, your ears are listening to it. You're sending out this frequency and this body wave, and your body is going to start following that because you are speaking it so confidently and so profoundly that that is now your truth. That is now your understanding. And that is now what you are becoming. Now you are preparing your life for what you spoke into your life versus preparing your life for thinking in a positive action, for realizing that if I give myself a little bit of a step back and some patience, maybe if I planned some things better, maybe if I thought out some things, maybe if I felt this way in a situation, but it actually wasn't factual, and let me start figuring things out and stop allowing things to just get so cluttered up here, right? So when we are hydrating ourselves, that is, what am I feeding myself? What am I listening to? What am I telling myself? Am I doing affirmations? Am I grateful? And gratitude is not just like, oh, I'm grateful for this and my blessing. It's being grateful in advance. There's a song in Christianity where it's like, I need to praise him in advance, and I praise him when I'm up and I praise him when I'm down. It's a matter of always allowing yourself to be at the highest energy. And it's not saying that you won't feel pain or hurt, but it's realizing that you don't want to be so sunk into that place that you don't allow yourself a way out of it. Because spirit is saying, they don't love or care about you, and that is a matter of right now saying that you don't love or care about yourself enough to feel like you are attached in this connection to actually fix it. You feel like right now you are currently at a standstill and at a point in your life where it's not moving, it's not shaking, things aren't going right. You feel like you made the wrong choices, the wrong decisions. And it's this matter and understanding of thinking like, no, right now your mind is just crowded. Ask ancestors, please give me a clear understanding. Please give me a clear guidance. Or just say my path is clear to me. I have a clear understanding of what I want to do. It's just a matter of realizing that. And if you feel like that's even too much, get a got box. It's where you write down things where you feel like, okay, this is what's going on. Put it in there and leave it. But do not allow yourself to hold on to things that are not working, because that is how you are starting to live out your life. And your body is a reflection, and it can affect your mind, right? And your mind can affect your body. So making sure that everything is in balance and taking that into goals, okay? So from the cards that I pulled, we're going to go ahead and get into that as well. These are just messages from the spirit. Oh, that felt good. That also felt good. So we have trouble up ahead, right? And we also have you're not ready. And that again is letting us know that we are too emotional. We're too in our head. We're too stressed. We're too worried. We're too anxiety filled. We're not leading in a way that is confident, that is powerful, that is recognizing that we are alchemists, that we are magical, that we are these sentient beings that are able to receive messages and clear understandings of what we want to do in our life. And that comes because feelings do not equate facts. We have to realize that just because this is what we're feeling at the moment does not mean that that is the actual fact of the situation. And if we start leading our life based off our feelings, feelings only last about a minute. Anything else after that is you reliving the memory of the situation and not the actual feeling of when it first happened, right? So you have to realize if I'm feeling lonely, when I'm not actually alone, I need to take a closer look and realize maybe I'm not giving to myself enough time. If I'm feeling desperate, like I always need something, I always have to have something, maybe I'm not being grateful for what I currently have at this moment in time. If I'm always feeling rushed or I always have to do something last minute, maybe I'm not planning my life in a way that allows me with ease and with grace. So realizing that if I'm feeling these emotions so strongly, what are the facts in my life that I can take? Because Spirit is saying that there is food at home, meaning that you have the answers. You are the key. You are your own nourishment, right? You have your own guidance. You have that own understanding. And if you don't, ask for it and lean into it. Because Spirit is saying it is all within yourself. But right now you're confusing yourself. So your body and your mind and your actions are acting out in confusion. And we need to realize that there's a matter of fact checking everything. If there's food at home and I'm the food at home, am I actually feeding it to myself? And I say it all the time. Am I a safe place that I can go back into? Am I actually being aware in a way of my highest self and in my highest regard? Or am I just being aware to say, oh, I'm being accountable, or I understand what's going on, yeah, and then I don't do anything with that awareness or that accountability. It's it's in a matter of understanding. If there's food at home, am I not actually creating a balanced meal for myself, right? And my bones and my body is stiff, maybe I'm not stretching enough, right? So again, make sure that those things are balanced, because feelings are very quick. I'm angry right now at this moment, and so I'm going to start planning things out of this anger, and it was only for a second, and now my life is leading in this path of that. So make sure that we are taking that into consideration as well, because we are stronger than you know, right? And that can be mentally. So if you're feeling thoughts again of stress, of anxiety, of worry, of anger, of loneliness, any of those feelings, you are stronger than you know, right? And it's a realization that I can rely on myself. But you have to realize you have to know yourself in order to rely on yourself, right? It's like somebody coming in, hey, I got this person, but you never know who the person is, but you can trust them, but you don't know them. You don't want to treat yourself as if you're a stranger. Get to understand yourself, get to know yourself, get to take that dive in and realize I can feed myself that power. I can feed myself that nourishment. Otherwise, there's going to be trouble up ahead, because right now, Spirit is saying we're not ready, because we're mentally not prepared for that. And mentality over everything, high key. Because if we feel like not moving, we don't move. If we feel like not going to work, high key, we're not going to go to work. If we feel like we can't do something, we're not going to do something. But that all starts with the mental thought, not necessarily the actual feeling of the situation. It all starts with the thought of, I don't think I feel like this. So remember, start to keep those in check and start to understand those as well, okay? So we have these two. We have ancestors displeased, and that stick up your ass must be uncomfortable. Again, we are causing ourselves some strain and some struggle because we're doubting ourselves. We're losing faith. We're losing hope. Again, we're so far up here because we're looking at our reality. We're like, it's not working. And we have to realize that when we are going through the tower moment, it's going to look like shit is not working. It's going to look like everything is collapsing. It's going to feel like everything is going wrong, and it's all going wrong at one time, and it's going back to back to back, and I keep taking steps backwards, and it's not. That is the tower moment. It has to take things away. It has to crumble. Sage. Thank you so much. It has to crumble, right? But as soon as we start trying to get out of the tower and rebuild things from that tower that we're trying to destroy with our manifestations that we said a while ago, with this being spring, it's anything that we set before spring, right? It's the new year, it's new abundance, it's new blossoming. So with us being like, it's not working, let me start doing this again. Let me start going back to this person. Let me start going back to these ideas. Let me start going back to these morals and these thought patterns. Let me start doing this. It's a matter of us picking up those broken pieces from the tower that we're currently going through and realizing, I can start building it again, but you don't want that again. And that's going to cause you to be very uncomfortable, for you to be very unsure of yourself. And that is displeasing the ancestors because they're saying, no, you're going backwards. We're going forwards right now. It doesn't feel like it, but it's a matter of destruction so that we can reconstruct you in a different way, in a different mindset, right? Because at the end of the day, we got 999. There's a transformative ending happening, okay? And it's happening for us, with us, and to us. So you have to realize that if I'm actually going to be transformed, I cannot revert back to what wasn't working for me. That's also why we got the they don't love or care about you, because you have to realize that those ideals didn't care or love about us. Us thinking that way about ourselves, us feeling that way about ourselves, us not setting boundaries, us not having a capacity for grace or love or receiving that, and patience and understanding and realizing I actually need to start putting in work. I actually need to start putting in that understanding that I am deserving of these things and I'm capable of actually utilizing that in my life because I'm transforming. When you're going through the tower moment, it is hard, it is rough. I know it because I'm currently going through it myself, but we have to remember that it's going to be at the end of it. We're going to get out of it. We just have to trust in our intuition, have to trust in our guidance of that, and make sure that we are trying to stay balanced throughout the entire thing, okay? Yeah, you already know the answer. Stop asking and obsessed. Okay? So this is a matter of you may be obsessed with a situation that's going on and what's happening, and you're like, okay, this is the way to do it. Maybe if I ask again, maybe if I do this again, maybe again, it's you keep reverting back to something. And it's so obsessive in your mind, and it's clouding your judgment, it's clouding your views, it's clouding the way that you want to actually take action, and you already know the answer, so stop asking. Stop being so obsessed with this, and just allow it to happen. The hardest thing at the tower moment is allowing it to happen. It is allowing it to go through. It is allowing the divine timing to actually be divine, right? Because it didn't work before when it was in your hands. It didn't work before when you was trying to plan everything out, and this is how I can do it, and you're trying to hold everything. It just didn't work, and it wasn't going to work, because you have to realize this is the manifestation. This is what I can do, and this is what is going to be what's best for me. I just need to stop being so obsessed with this, so obsessed with the future, so obsessed with my expectations, so obsessed with the past, so obsessed with whatever you're obsessed with. You already know the answer. Stop asking and realize that, right? Because you're dehydrating your body. You're dehydrating your mind. You're starving yourself. And your body is screaming out. Your inner child is screaming out like, hey, we need some type of hydration. We need you to notice us. Spirit is telling me, we need you to notice us. And you're not noticing us right now because you're so focused on the destruction of the ruins that you don't even see that with the dust clearing, that there is something on the horizon that is so much better. So we need you to start paying attention to you. Actually paying attention to you. The hermit mode does not mean you always have to go and be in solitude. It actually just means you need to go inside of yourself and discover yourself. Are you actually attached to yourself, or are you just attached to the world and your body is tethered with it? Okay? We have third party and mommy issues. So it could also be some things that may be holding you back, or some things that may be going on and that may cause some issues going on, but a third party may be coming in. It may be third party, since it's not actually a person. It could be financial, it could be spiritual, it could also be something that is mental, but it can also be something within your environment that you're dealing with. But it's a third party that is affecting you, but it is you holding on to also the mommy issues. It may just be these, that you're obsessed with your mommy issues and so much, and let me keep going back to it, and I can work on it. And I had a dream the other night. Was it last night? I had a dream a few times with the wolf. And the wolf is about family and connection, but it's also about you cannot bring your family with you on your evolution, on your growth. You just have to accept them for where they are and what's going on, and realize that if you continue to try to pull yourself back and bring them with you, you cannot evolve together. Imagine if you have siblings. You all grew up in the same exact household. Are any of you exactly the same? Probably not, because your ideals are different, your morals are different, your characteristics are different, your personality is different. So why is your growth not the same? Because it's different. It's supposed to be different. It's supposed to be a transformative ending for you. It's supposed to be something that is for you. So recognize when you may be dealing with some issues, and just recognize that it could be affecting you again in financial matters, spiritual matters, mental matters, and things of that sort. And just don't be so obsessed with it. You already know the answer to the question. Stop asking. Just do what they told you to do. Okay? Well, don't worry. We got some good news. Okay? We got new love on the horizon. That can be a new career. That can actually be a person coming in and showing you love that you never experienced before, and that is always beautiful, and that is always powerful. It can be new community. It can be new relationships. It can also be a new love and profound understanding for yourself that you never thought that you can experience before, and that you want to hold on to. But allow that, again, the new love on the horizon, right? If you're on the tower, sometimes you're so high up that you can't even see what's out there. But now that you're on the level field, you can start walking and feeling the ground beneath your feet and walking towards it and seeing what is laid out for you and what is planned. So be ready for that, because if not, there's going to be trouble up ahead, okay? But either way, you have to remember, you're always on the right path, okay? You're always on the right path, okay? And that is an understanding that, okay, if I put myself too far, even if you self-sabotage, I'm a person that can do that a lot myself, personally. But sometimes self-sabotage, I'm still on the right path, because now I'm aware, like, okay, it's just going to take me a little bit longer to get to where I'm going, but I'm still going to get to where I need to go. No matter what I did to fuck it up, no matter what somebody else may have did to fuck it up, no matter what's going on, no matter if it's a tower moment, no matter if I'm transforming or transmuting my power and my energy, I'm always going to be on the right path. This is a reminder, which means that they have been telling you, they have been telling us that we are always on the right path. It's just a matter of us not losing that sight and that focus of where we're going and what we're actually going for, okay? We have major wins coming in and communication coming in. So major wins are coming and communication is coming in. So that means, again, we have to get out of our head so that way we can see this clear path and understanding. It's going to be hard to recognize what communication is for us if we're in our head so much. If we're not moving our body. Our spirit is always moving, and it just waits for the body to react. Our spirit is always moving. It's just waiting for the mind to think it and us to start speaking it, which is why we got that in the spirit card, right? My tongue speaks truth, my ears will listen, and my body will follow. Say it over and over and over again if you need to. My tongue speaks truth, my ears will listen, and my body will follow. Because it's a matter of, if I'm not speaking the truth, I won't be able to say it. I won't be able to think it. And my life will be elating in a way that is negative for me, right? Because major winds are coming. And we want that for us. And we want to make sure that with this coming, Spirit is saying this is happening anyway. That's the Spirit is telling me this is, major winds are happening anyway. But it's a matter of, is it going to be trouble up ahead when it happens? Are you actually going to be ready when it happens? Or is it going to be transformative when it happens? And you're going to be able to be abundant and reaping that in a prosperous way. Okay? So take that into realization. Spirit is saying we're in our heads. Too much. We're too emotional right now. We're feeling it too much. We're not allowing ourselves to fact check the situation. We're not allowing ourselves to express it in a way that is logical, meaningful, communicative, and receptive in a way that is powerful to actually move in a mindset that is actually going to work for us moving forward. Okay? So get out of your head. It's okay. Journal it. Scream it if you need to. Cry it out, and then start moving the fuck on, because it's not working. We're drying ourselves out. If we are our food at home, we don't want to make sure that our fridge is empty. Every time we open our fridge, ain't no food in there because we're not feeding ourselves. Okay? So that was our reading for our mind, body, and our spirits. Again, just make sure that those are always in balance, because they do affect one another highly, right? And if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to hit me up. I'm always there. Well, not always, but pretty much. I don't really have a life. But just allow yourself that, okay, to be receptive and understanding, okay? And get your protection up. Spirit is telling me, get your protection up now. Do not wait. Do not hesitate. Get it up now. If you need some salt and some black pepper at your door, do that. If you need some obsidian, get that. If you need some, get your protection up now, because with this transformative ending, you want to make sure that you are prepared for it as well, and you're not going to sabotage or make it detrimental for yourself, okay? All right, I love you all. Up until next time, I may come back to do another reading later, just because I wasn't able to do it the other day, but I love you all. Like, share, and subscribe, and yeah.